Hi everybody, Phantom Nate here, and welcome to the channel. I used to upload a lot of videos early on when I first made my channel. I haven't done it recently. Um, I'm gonna get into that in a little bit for any of my subscribers that are still watching. It's probably not the case though. The gameplay you're seeing in the background is Roller Champions. It's a game from Ubisoft. They had it at their E3 press conference. It's not released. They're doing a pre-alpha type beta test type thing. If you have a PC, go to Uplay, play it. It's a really fun game. It's in the same vein as Rocket League, as you can tell. Does require a little more skill. I feel like in Rocket League, a lot of goals, at least in like casual lobbies, they tend to just be like lucky bounces and no real intent behind them. It's very different here. You actually have to have some strategy. You actually have to have some skill. I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna keep playing it, and when it comes out, I'm gonna buy it if it's not free to play. This definitely would benefit from a free to play type system, honestly. If anything, it shouldn't be more than $20 because if it's a $60 game, then it might not do so well. But that's it. So the first thing I'm gonna start off with is an update on the channel. First, I'm gonna start with my apology for any of my subscribers that end up watching this video. I quit YouTube without saying I quit YouTube, and it's mainly my fault. It's all my fault, actually. I wasn't doing so hot as a YouTuber, and I was getting very discouraged, but I kept with it because I would every once in a while get a comment from an actual viewer or an actual subscriber, and it was really nice. Most of my comments were from other channels that would end up promoting their own stuff, so it felt like a bot just going around from video to video just posting a comment, which sucked. Then I put out a video about the PS4 Pro. I think it was before it was released, talking about the teraflops. You know, that whole 4.2 teraflops, or I think they tried to say it was like 8.4, with it being like F16. I'm not gonna get into it because I had bad information, and while everyone who came at me was right, I was wrong. It was just the way they went about it, especially when I was already feeling discouraged. The like real first video, I get a bunch of comments, and it's nothing but people like getting on me. I kept going after that, but I didn't like doing it anymore. So that's why I left. Really sorry about that. Hopefully you'll stick with me this time. I'm not going to try to put out 2-3 videos a week like I was doing. It's probably going to be a weekly thing. I'm going to probably turn this channel into a more weekly update for video games and tech / Call of Duty news, because I still like Call of Duty and it's still my passion, which is unfortunate. I guess we'll get into that now. This is going to be more of a rant about Call of Duty, especially Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward recently came out after everyone kind of got pissed off about no gameplay at E3, and pretty much said that they will show gameplay when they're ready, and that they're following a traditional reveal schedule for Call of Duty this year, except they're releasing in October, not November like it was back then, so everything should be pushed up a month. It's more of, in what world do you think you have any trust with the community right now in Infinity Ward? Your last 2 games were Ghost, which honestly, in hindsight, especially with the most recent games, probably not the worst Call of Duty. that you've ever made, at least this team of Infinity Ward. I actually kind of wish we would go back to Ghost, because at least then we wouldn't have to deal with loot boxes, and DLC would come out when it's supposed to come out. We would actually have content, whether or not it was top tier content doesn't really matter. At least there was content and it wasn't in loot boxes. That's your best game. And people are going to go, it's Infinity Ward. They made Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. No, that's old Infinity Ward. And yeah, sure, some of the old guys came back to make this game. But they're not Vincent Pella. They don't have the same direction. And it's not the same Activision. This Activision is after 10 years of success and having money rule them, and they want more money because they're losing money on Call of Duty now. So it's not the same Infinity Ward. It's not even the same Activision that those games were released in. It's not the same environment. So that's not this Infinity Ward. Hell, Modern Warfare 3 isn't even this Infinity Ward. That's Sledgehammer's game. Sledgehammer came in, took what the original Infinity Ward was going to do for the game, and they made it as best as they possibly could without having their help. The first game for this Infinity Ward was Ghost, and it was, at the time, the worst Call of Duty. In hindsight, I think everyone would rather play Ghost than any of the games that have come out recently. It pisses me off that, like, I've seen comments about how jetpacks were good. Jetpacks weren't good. Like, it put too many variables that weren't good. Like, yeah, you move fast, except latency and lag and not being on dedicated servers. We're still on the hybrid system. Like, all these things, when things are moving way too quickly, that's when you get an advantage. Or a disadvantage. You might jetpack yourself right into lag, and you'll be the one that's killed and pissed off. It's just, it wasn't good for the game. It's not good for their server setup, because still don't have dedicated servers. We have a few, but it's not a full dedicated server system, which is retarded, because we've made billions upon billions upon billions of dollars off this community, and the fact that we can't even get dedicated servers when Battlefield has had it for years. And before anybody comes at me, that game is now hitting its peak. Like, that game has had dedicated servers going back way back. I don't know when they got it, but I remember around MW3, Black Ops 2, Battlefield players would talk about how we don't have dedicated servers and they have dedicated servers. Back then, they were the game that would only sell 10 million copies, and the games for Call of Duty were selling 30. Alright? So, like, Call of Duty's dying. And I know it's dying, and I know games don't last forever, but I was hoping to get one last game on current gen systems. That way I could play it for 6-7 years, and hopefully in that time another development company or another developer would take their shot at a Call of Duty-esque game. Not so arcade that it's like Unreal Tournament, but not so simmy and like, I don't know, what is it, Rising Storm or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, Call of Duty's dying, and that's probably why I'm gonna be more video game tech news channel than Call of Duty channel. So we'll talk more about this in another video. I can't talk about this anymore. It's pissing me off. If you want to see more content that is probably better than mine, and you haven't been watching them, Thunder, I believe it's 402 Thunder 402. one of the best YouTubers for Call of Duty, and I really like his stuff. And he definitely has better videos than me. So if you want to see more, go to him. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.